There's dirt on my hands, strong like a tree. There's roots where I stand.
Alright guys, let's go ahead and get into this self-love for the week. I'm going to go ahead and try to cut down on time as usual and go ahead and deal these out. Some already fell out while I was getting ready to pull them out, so I went ahead and just pulled them out of the deck. As I'm going with the saying, as most readers know, if it falls to the floor, it comes to your door. So here we go. I'm going to speed it up right now. Our weekly challenge is learn from the mirror of relationships. It's been said that the three greatest mysteries of the world are air to the birds, water to the fish, and man unto himself. What this means is that oftentimes the things that we're most familiar with are the hardest to understand. It can be difficult to take an honest assessment of ourselves because we lack an objective perspective. Looking at ourselves through the eyes of others gives us a better understanding of our strengths, our limitations, and our potentials. By embracing the perspective of another, we can discover aspects of ourselves that are hidden from our own view. This week, use the mirror of relationships to gain insight into yourself. And I'm not going to read that because I've seen it before and it's just kind of weird. Okay, so last week we were supposed to look at others through a different perspective, through their eyes. This week we're being called to look at ourselves through the eyes of others. Okay, and these fell out on the floor as well. And this was telling me, you know, the bird one, see something from a higher perspective, so see ourselves from a higher perspective. It's telling us we're gonna be protected by those up above us, and you know, the things that we don't know of. The moon is here, which is secrets, things we don't know, sometimes lies or stuff like that, but we're being protected from it all right now. Okay, and that's because there's something that's coming, and it's only coming in divine timing. You see the clock right there, so that's telling you we're not going to know because there's the moon again. Most of these have the moon in them. I didn't even choose this deck. They just fell out from my tray when I was trying to move it over here. So this is telling you we're going to be protected during our growth, but it is time to lay our roots in this world to find out what it is that we're meant for. See, there's the world there. To find out what we're meant for and grow. See, she's starting to bloom. Okay? And once we figure that out, that's when it's all going to come together and we're going to understand. We're going to, we'll accept our fate and our destiny. You see these doves flying out? It may be hidden to us because it was just not the right time, or some things had to happen first. But Spirit is watching, Spirit is guiding us this week, and they're telling you, look at things through a higher perspective. So when you look at yourself, look at them through the eye. Look at yourself through the eyes of others. And the flame card, the spark card, is just listen. Okay? Just listen. Okay. Here is also what you're supposed to be listening to. Okay, you got just listen, then you got the heart. So it's telling you to listen with the heart. See things from your heart space and not from your mind. A lot of times our mind will lie to us, but our heart never. Our heart knows what it feels. A heart has no brain, it just feels what it's supposed to feel. Okay? Okay, so, and your heart is your 5D. Each person's road to the inner Lord is extraordinary and personal. How liberating to listen inside. See, listen inside, just listen, and sense moments to moment what's needed. And that's kind of like, as Eckhart Tolle said, you know, the be in the now, you know, Sometimes we get so focused on either looking back or we get so focused on looking forward that it ruins our now. And we need to be present in the now and pay attention and focus and listen to what's going on at this exact moment. Okay? And with the heart here, I keep getting that someone may need to apologize, but if you are asking someone to forgive you, you need to do so with sincerity. Like, if you're not going to be sincere, like, don't even bother. Like, because someone, especially if the other person is an empath, they will know exactly how you're feeling, whether you say it or not. So if you give them a false apology, they will know. Okay? And it's telling you to live life in the fullest. And to do that, you have to be present in the now. And you raise your vibration by being in the now. Okay? When I am connected to joyful presence meaning being present, I attract support from the universe. Okay. I am a vibrational being. These are your law of attraction cards. I am a vibrational being in a vibrational universe. I was talking about this earlier, actually, because our vibe, or the whole world is nothing more than a giant vibe, okay? And so it's kind of like a bat's echo. You know, the bat is attracted to the echo or the waves of the thing, so it knows where to go. So just like that, we can't see the waves of others, but we can like sense them through our 5D, and that's how we pull people in, or we are attracted to others through their vibe. So if you want a higher quality person, if you want to attract higher quality people, you yourself have to set yourself apart and start to vibe higher. And to vibe higher, a lot of times you have to do healing work, which is not fun. Might put you in a low vibe for a little while, but once you come out of that healing, you're ultimately just gonna like vibe to the sky, okay? You live in the pulsating, vibrating universe of advanced harmonics. Everything that exists in your air, in your dirt, in your water, in your bodies is a vibration in motion, and all of it is managed by the powerful law of attraction. There is nothing that exists outside of the vibrational nature, and as you learn to accept your vibrational nature and begin to consciously utilize your emotional vibrational indicators, you will gain a conscious control of your personal creations and the outcomes of your life experience. And that's pretty much what that's saying right there is, once we start to vibe higher and we start to control our vibe based upon being in the presence of in the now, that's how we will draw in good people, or we will draw in bad people. If you're in a low vibe, you're going to bring in low vibrational people, which usually that will be a trauma bond. If you start dating someone to try to get over somebody else, more than likely you're going to call in someone who is a low vibe, and it is going to create a trauma bond. Now, if you sleep with that person, not only do you pull their vibe and stay on their vibe, but you also pull their karma. And if they have very bad karma, you are going to reap very bad karma. If they are not a nice person, that's why you've got to protect your energy. You can't just go around sleeping with everybody, no matter how fun it is. You can't, because it will literally put you on a path that will set you in, like, it will hold you back from your full potential. Because some people may go around sleeping with everybody and they may have a certain level of potential, but what they could have drawn in if they weren't would have been 1,000 times more. Okay? Because sometimes you look at people and they have a lot of money, or it seems like things are going great for them, but in their mind they're not. Things are going awful for them, you know? And I always relate this to, at one point, one of my friends was married, and I had been divorced for like, I don't know, like 5 or 6 years at this time. And they were like, I want to live vicariously through you because you're dating all these people and these guys are hot and Like, I try to live my life through you. And I'm like, no, don't. I'm like, dating is awful. I hate it. I don't care if guys are hot or if it seems nice on the outside. My goal is to get where you are. Like, be grateful for what you have. Like, I know that I will probably always not really take in how great it is to date, because I am so weird when I date. Everybody tells you, like, before I get into a full-blown relationship, I'm just awkward. I make things weird. I don't know how to ask. You know, it's kind of like that saying, I don't know where to put my hands. That's me, okay? Like, I feel uncomfortable. I feel unsafe. And if I feel unsafe, it's not okay. Like, I was married at one time for 11 years. And I will tell you, I felt more free and more happy and more peace in my relationship, even though things went wrong. And it turned out that my husband had a twin that he was supposed to come into alignment with, which he just married this month actually. And he was supposed to help me bring my kids in because I had a tumor that, had I not had my children at a real early age, I would not have children now. And so, you know, all things happen for a reason, but, you know, I wanted that. So I will probably always take for granted the dating, because I hate dating. In fact, if I could go just straight from being single to being married, I'm not even gonna lie, I would take that option. I'd be like, okay, let's go. Not right now though, because right now I'm still trying to work on myself, and I'm not trying to pull in someone who's just at the vibe I'm at. I'm trying to get as high as I can go by healing all that I've got to heal and attract in, you know. Like, I have a twin out there, and I found him, and so I had always all my life felt like I was searching for someone, or that I was alone. But then when I met my twin, that made me understand what that feeling truly was. And so that will actually help me along my path, whether me and my twin ever talk again or we never talk again. That's okay. You know, his journey is his journey, and I'm not going to push him to do something that he doesn't want. However, going forward in life, I won't have that wondering or that longing or that question of why I feel this way. I will know. And actually, it's been gone since I've met him, even while we were in separation, because once you come in contact with your twin, there is no true separation. But everything happens for a reason. But I want to vibe higher. I don't vibe high when I'm dating. In fact, I tend to get into a dating mode and my vibe goes to the bottom, because I feel unsafe, I feel insecure, I feel like I'm not good enough. And it could be the people that I brought in, because a long time ago I would go from one relationship to the next, to the next, to the next. And it's not till like the past maybe like 3 years. I had a catalyst relationship that pushed me into my healing, and I met this person right before I met my twin. And so the time that I met the catalyst and we split up, that was really, really hard. And so after that person, I didn't really want to date, and I did not even talk to no one. In fact, I blocked all my social media and everything, and cut everything off. And I met my twin accidentally online, but accidentally. But anyways, and so with me, dating is like low vibe energy for me, because I don't trust dating. I don't feel safe. I feel like you're on a chain while you're dating. It's weird. I would, you know, in the 11 years that I was married, I felt free. I felt like I was connected, but that I had freedom. And with me, I'm a Virgo sun and an Aquarius moon. So I'm like complete opposites. I want structure and I want stability, but I want to be able to have my freedom. But dating, no. Dating is awful for me. Like, I hate dating. Everybody who I've been in relationships with will probably tell you I am awful to date, but once you get me in a full-blown relationship, then I'm great. Like, or at least I settle down mentally, emotionally, whatever. Like, I feel safe. Once you make me feel safe, I'm okay. But yeah, so I've been single for a little over a year since I've met my twin and we separated, I guess. Like, I met my soulmate that was supposed to come in, and that went awful. That went so awful. And so I'm like, no. Like, if it's not meant to be, I don't even really want to deal with it. I know there's supposed to be people come in, and he's got lessons that he's supposed to learn, but right now I'd rather focus on myself and my healing for not just myself, but for my kids, because I want to attract in a higher vibe, not just as a person, just as in general. Once you go high vibe, it's easier for you to accomplish your goals and the things that you want, because you're not always thinking negative, you're not always speaking negative to yourself. You're talking higher, and you're vibing higher, and you're forgiving, and you're learning what unconditional love is. And until you hit that, and then you accept it, if this is what you want, you've got to get right. You've got to grow. If you want that spark, you've got to listen to the universe and your intuition and wait until you are ready to speak life into not only you, into yourself, but also into the world around you, because that's what we are being called to do at this time, which is raise the vibration of the world, because if not, we're going to become like one of the other planets. It's going to kill off, because the world itself is on a vibe. And that's pretty much what it's made of, is the vibes. And like with all of the bad stuff that's been going on recently, the vibe of the whole world is like way down, because there was so much hate, especially here in America, so much hate going around. And that's not what we're supposed to be. We're supposed to be vibing high and not being persuaded by the government to hate everybody or to think that there's that much hate. There is hate, but it is usually all drawn by the media. That's all I'm going to say about that, because I'm not going into that right now. We're talking about self-love, and so we're going to stay high vibe, right? Okay. So let's see what this says. By default, I could have attracted unwanted relationships. Okay, so you got the black and the white, the yin and the yang, right? So they're trying to find their roots. If you've got a twin, this will make more sense. But you could be unconsciously attracted in people that are not meant for you, because you are not where you are meant to be. Many of the relationships or experiences you have attracted, you would not have deliberately attracted if you had been doing it on purpose. But much of our attention is not done by deliberate intent, but rather by default. It is important to understand that you get what you think about, whether you want it or not. And chronic thoughts about unwanted things invite or ask for matching experiences. That the law of attraction makes it so. Because your thoughts become your reality. Like, you're creating your own universe just by what you think about. When you think negative all the time, you're going to draw negative in. When you think positive all the time, you're going to draw positive in. Or you're going to see the experiences around you from the positive perspective, the higher perspective, and not the bad perspective, okay? And the human gift is the card we pulled this time, and it says, "Oh heart, what is your excuse for all of these blunders? Such loyalty is offered by the beloved, yet so much treason comes from you. Such kindness is offered by the beloved, yet so much defiance and resistance comes from you. Such grace is offered by the beloved, yet so much fault and failure comes from you. Such attraction is offered by the beloved with sweetness and generosity, yet such jealousy comes from you with so much doubt and suspicion. And that is exactly what all of this has been saying here. What you think about is what you bring in. When God gives you something that is supposed to be a gift, we start to doubt and wonder if it's really for us, or if we're good enough for it, or if they're a good person, or if we even like them. What is meant for you is meant for you. It is meant for you on purpose, because that is what you need. Not always what you want at first, because a lot of times, as I said, a lot of times the first impression is not what truly is, right? So sometimes God will give us what we need, but we don't fully see what it is until we get into it and we go along with it, and we see that is not only what we needed, but it will also become what we wanted. Okay? Because God can see the bigger picture. We can't. We can only see it from a small perspective because we're small. Okay, this says, do you lack faith? Do you berate yourself, blazing angel, because you have moments where you cannot bring yourself to trust in love more than you trust in your fear? Do you lament and worry that you could or should be living in great surrender? Surrender, right? Was that not what that said there? Oh, okay. Surrender. You accept to the surrendering. And yet, when is light more precious than when it arises from the darkness? When is trust more admirable than when it involves an uncertain yet bold leap of faith? O human angel, your path is perfection in the divine sense, not in some artificial absence of struggle, but in the wrestling of darkness and light that ignites the fire within your holy heart. So rise up now from your doubts and admonishments, and let your human self be loved. Even for all the doubts, you are still cherished one of the great beloved, and always shall be. Okay, I've got these cards here. These are my angel cards. I'm going to start incorporating these in. Let's see what they say. Trust. Okay. Trust your feeling and dreams to guide your career path. And a lot of feminines right now are in the 3D. The feminines are more focused on their work, their jobs, creating something, building up something that they thought was stable. They have completely switched with the masculines. The masculines could be going into healing. The masculines could be looking at things from a different perspective. And the feminines are working in the 3D. They are trying to feel the stability. They're trying to make themselves feel safe. So this is telling you within your path of getting to the point where you feel safe, trust in God, trust in the divine to lead you, to guide you to where you are meant to be. Okay? So that's all I've got for you, and do not forget to look at you from the sight of the eyes of others. So, and this is again even saying, look at ourselves through the eyes of our partner. You know, because sometimes, and I'll be the first to tell you this, just listen. Sometimes your partner just needs you to listen. And not necessarily that you have to agree with them or that you have to compromise, but it's just a respect thing. When you listen to your partner and respect their feelings and how they are, you make them feel what's the word I'm trying to think of? It's not valuable. I can't think of the word. It's kind of like you honor them and you honor their presence, and by that, that's how you respect someone. When you get mad and you just shut someone out and you don't listen to them. And you can get mad and still listen. Like, that is doable. But you need to listen so that you can see it from their side. And even just in the listening, whether you accept that person or not, just listening will help you see it from both sides to figure out whether that is what it is that you need from life going forward or whether you don't. Okay, so right now, do not forget to listen to your intuition. Not your brain, not anything else. Listen to your gut, to your heart, to your intuition, and see things from your heart space, okay? See things from the heart space of those that are around you. And be in the now. Be present. Don't always focus on the future. Don't always focus on the past. I usually tend to go backwards and focus on the past, figure out how I need to fix the future, which is the complete opposite of what I've learned that you're supposed to do. You gotta focus on the now, what you can do now, accept the things that I have the ability, that I don't have the ability to change, and be grateful for the things that I do have the ability to change in the now. Alright guys, that's all I've got for you. I hope this helped, and remember, this week going forward, look at things through the eyes of other people around you. Alright guys, bye-bye. Bye.
Stay, even for a moment, that's okay. Even if the sky is turning gray,